Yo, yo, yo. What's up? Get this show on the road.
And in the locker room, each guy has been going over and through his own routine to get ready. But once they take the floor, they're one single unit. Welcome to the NBA on
Second
2K
game.
Sports. So glad you can join us on this Saturday night. And a look now at the San Antonio
Went to
Spurs
overtime
upcoming
against
schedule. On Monday,
Mavericks in
they'll be
game
facing
one.
Steven Adams.
Got the win somehow, even though Kyrie Irving got the last shot
They'll
up.
tip it off. Road trip beginning in Oklahoma City, where they'll take on the Thunder.
And looking at the Utah matchup, it's the second game of a back-to-back, and you know they're going to be feeling the effects of it. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes a toll.
Here's the starting group for Houston. At the guard positions, Van Fleet in green. Thompson is out there with Brooks. And it's Şengün in at the 5, roaming the paint. And for San Antonio, up in the front court, it'll be Vassell and Barnes. Chris Paul is out there with De'Aaron Fox. And it's Wembanyama in at the 5. Now, some have argued that Wembanyama deserved Defensive Player of the Year consideration in his rookie year.
And, Kevin, I can see where they're coming from. His team went from a bottom-5 defense to a top-5 defense when he was on the floor. His impact is amazing.
Great overlook there. Van Vliet's got 5 points so far.
That was all he needed to find the hoop. I mean, expert play call that time by Van Vliet.
Paul passes to Wembanyama. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets 3, you fire 3 of your own. Boom.
Brooks with no one around. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Pass to Wembanyama. And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Off on the layup. For Houston, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Brooks, the pass to Thompson. Van Vliet against Paul. Launches it. And Fred Van Vliet gets the 3. Van Vliet's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Few players shoot it with as much arc as Van Vliet does. That thing brings rain when he shoots.
And it's Fox with the jam.
Taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, we didn't expect to see that kind of finish.
And you know, guys, when your point guard is making explosive plays at the rim, I really do think it sets the tone for the rest of the team.
For 3, Van Vliet. Wembanyama with the rebound.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Fox, no good.
Does not get much easier than that, but somehow he came up empty there.
And Clark watching Amen Thompson. He is just a different
you
kind
kidding
of
me?
He
athlete.
sure is, boy. Special as an
on
athlete.
that one.
And we've got some of the greatest athletes in the world across the NBA. He's smooth, he's explosive, he's fluid, well coordinated. Seems like he just kind of floats in the air. It's special to watch him do his thing.
Lets a floater go, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Well, Clark, we hear a lot about the antics with Brooks, but he deserves more attention for his play.
I agree, especially on the defensive end, Kevin. He's one of the top perimeter defenders in the league, and some of what his antics are flowing out of is his competitive spirit. I still think he needs to tamp down the antics because that does take away from what he does, which is lock guys up and play with great competitive spirit all the time.
Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Well, I caught up with Greg Popovich. I asked him how they plan on bottling up Jalen Green. Now, he said, we have to try and stay in front of him and protect the rim. Jalen is an explosive athlete and an incredibly crafty finisher around the basket, so keeping him out of the paint will be easy. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, David. Wembanyama, left side. Green against Fox. Here's Wembanyama. Thompson with the rebound. Thompson's got his 4th rebound in this one. And it's Green slamming it down.
Superior ball handling from Green that time. Had the defender on his heels.
And that last look brought to you by
Fix this shit,
AT&T 5G Slam King. Barnes outside. Vassell kicks to Fox. The kick out to Barnes. Wow, came this close to a 4-point play. He'll head to the line for 3 free throws. That one on Thompson. You know, Clark, the Rockets have done a good job building a young foundation to this roster.
Yeah, I like what they've done, Kevin. They made big strides last season, and it's a team that's really growing up right in front of our eyes, and there's no reason that they can't continue the trend they're on.
And the Rockets making a change here. John Glandale's checked in for Şengün. Jabari Smith comes in for Thompson. Tari Eason's checked in for Dylan Brooks. And Cam Whitmore's subbed in for Fred VanVleet. Spurs trail by 6. Here's Sohan. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Rockets have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Here's Landale. Rebounded by the Spurs. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Houston this season.
And they won the season series against this club last year, but, you know, then again, so did a lot of other teams.
We got to be honest here, which is really the only way I roll. Neither of these teams are world beaters. But you've got to start somewhere. A win tonight would be a step in the right direction.
And it's Whitmore missing. Well, it was the San Antonio Spurs winning their last game against the Mavericks in Dallas. Here's Castle. And the layup's good off the glass.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Here's Green. Takes it off the glass. Green's got his 2nd basket of the night.
He's somebody that's really comfortable carrying the offensive load.
And so the first quarter is in the books. The Rockets on top. They're up by 6.
Black.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Rockets, guys.
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you look at the energy, the effort defensively. They put it all out there in that opening quarter.
Sohan is out there with Johnson. Then it's Castle. Then it's De'Aaron Fox. And it's Champagnie in at the 3 spot. That's the San Antonio 5. Here's Eason. And he lays it straight in. Eason's got his first 2 points. And now we're being joined by our 2K insider, Shams Charania, who's calling in with a good story. Shams, what do you have?
Thanks. Many consider this summer to be the most challenging field in the history of international basketball. Nevertheless, Team USA got it done in Paris. It's not getting any easier, but the star power of the U.S. men's team shined bright in the City of Lights. Guys, a classic ending for a stacked U.S. roster.
You're right. What a performance. Hey, Shams Charania with the report. Thanks, Shams. Here's Fox, and it's Fox with the jam.
How about the vertical from Fox? Throwing it down with authority. Go get it, young fella.
Rockets leading by 4. And De'Aaron Fox gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Here's Shepard, defended by Paul. There's the triple. The Rockets with another miss. And here's Fox. He'll bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
You could see it in that game, despite the odds going against them. Once it got to OT, they had that belief and resolve that they could win.
Sometimes we've seen it happen where a team that's supposed to be the underdog gets the game into OT, and then the momentum swings their way.
Pass to Eason. 6 to shoot. And the
Got greedy.
Eason.
Steal.
An extremely unselfish player. Shepard loves to get others involved and create for his teammates.
You know, Greg, with the combination of Wembanyama and Coach Greg Popovich, the Spurs should be a great defensive team.
Yeah, it's hard with a young roster because all 5 guys have to work in unison, and often someone's going to make a mistake.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Alperen Sengun is a weapon on the block. Coach Ime Udoka said there are not a ton of true low-post threats in the NBA nowadays. Joel Embiid, Jokic, I don't know how many others there are anymore. Alpen's had success against pretty much everybody that's guarded him. Kevin, his footwork is indeed high level.
DA totally agree. Great footwork. Moves on moves, I've always said. Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama is checked in for Jeremy Sohan. And it's Vassell in for Castle. Wembanyama finds the hole for the second time from the floor. Now 2 for 5.
And standing easily over 7 feet. When he gets that ball near the hoop, literally nothing a defender can do.
Green against Fox. At 3 off the mark.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Wembanyama passes to Barnes. Back to Wembanyama. And Wembanyama too much inside.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
And we've got a timeout called from Ime Udoka. Wants to talk some things over, might be seeing some things to adjust. Get ready, everyone. Castle's checked in.
Wish we could get Ime down here.
And the Rockets making a change here as well. Smith is checked in.
I don't think Pop's coming back.
The Rockets have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. 1:25 left to play here in the half. Here's Van Vliet. Connects on the 9-footer. 10 points for Fred Van Vliet.
And unafraid to challenge the heart of this defense. Van Vliet's a strong finisher for his size.
On the wing, Barnes. Back to Wembanyama. A second chance effort. Thompson with the rebound. Thompson's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Kicks it out to Van Vliet. Brooks outside. His 3-pointers off the mark.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Pass to Paul. There's 37 seconds left in the first half. Poke loose. Van Vliet deciding where to go with it. That shot wide open. And now a 4-point Rocket lead.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Now Paul. Nothing on the board. Barnes screen on Van Vliet. Paul finds Wembanyama. San Antonio again missing. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Rockets lead by 4. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Here with Greg Popovich. Pop, in a close game, what makes the difference in the second half?
Generic-ass answer.
It's a game of mistakes. It's a game of playing well. Who knows?
Always love your philosophy, Coach. Thanks for your time. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
Fans, please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan half-court shot. Drum roll, please.
Yeah. Will she make it?
They're thinking about the
No.
shot.
No thanks.
Hey, he sure has come out hot, like Atlanta in late August. Big fella, what's the hottest city you ever
Can't
played
get
for?
anything going.
Phoenix for the
Cohen.
weather, Miami for the party. Hey,
It's only the second time
Kenny
I've
at the
ever played
party.
this game.
Kenny, you
I
want to
see
come to
what
my
you're
party? Kenny?
I need to learn how to
As
do
we
like,
shift our focus
plays.
now to the Spurs, it's a tight one.
I
after
only
two
know the
quarters
pick and
of play.
roll. And I'm
I
not
hate
very
what they're
good at
doing
it.
on defense. Giving up too many gimmies.
And that'll do it for halftime. We send you.
Fox is the only one doing anything.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an
They're
edge.
playing like the real
Fred
Spurs.
Van Vliet has been sensational.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
And you know what? It helped that they had a few guys with very hot hands on the perimeter, too.
Starting the second half, here's Ime Udoka's foul. Running the wings, they'll go with
Got
Green
no problem
and
getting to
Brooks.
the paint.
Alperen Şengün out there with Thompson. And it's Van Vliet in at the point guard position. And it's Van Vliet with the ball for the Rockets. The lead is 2. And for De'Aaron Fox, his three-point shooting, Greg, has come a long way.
In his rookie season, he only shot 30% on 2 attempts per game. But his volume and efficiency have both gone way up. And it's made him much more dangerous offensively. I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches. He used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
And here's Brooks from outside. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Brooks has got 6 points.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
No way.
Fox, no good. Rockets leading by 3. And Thompson kicks to Green. Offline with his 3. Spurs have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. And Fox gets it to go.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
And timeout is called by Ime
Ime wants a
Udoka.
timeout.
He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys.
Yep. Just gotta feed the Fox. You're right. Keep feeding him and feeding him.
Numbers for De'Aaron Fox. Great showing for him last season. First in steals, and of course he was among the best in the league when it came to putting the ball in the basket. Top 10 in scoring.
And as you said, first in steals last season. You have to say he's the best ball hawk in the league right now. It may not even be close. The Rockets again can't hit.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Ball passes to Wembanyama. Fox from outside. Field goal number 9. He's
Fox
9
on
of 12 with
fire.
that basket.
Wow, 4 of 5 to start the half. Coming out on fire.
Brooks outside. Green with a screen for Brooks. From deep. Rebounded by Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, the offense scuffling a bit to start this second half. Only 1 for the first 5.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
So, Greg, the Spurs last year began 15 and 56, but it was the ending that they're really hanging their head on. They won 7 of their last 11 games.
And over that closing stretch, Wemby averaged 27 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 blocks. A small glimpse into the potential of this young superstar.
Castles checked in for San Antonio. Tari Eason's checked in for Houston. Sinks the triple. Eason's got 7 points.
dropping an absolute dime. It's really Van Vliet's specialty. He loves sharing the sugar.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, the Rockets are making progress. Coach Ime Udoka said it doesn't happen overnight. Changing habits and things like that takes time. Guys learn and grow at a different pace. I think is getting us all on the same page. We're not that far off. Kevin, they sure look like they're building in the right direction.
David, they are, and some good vets have helped as well. And we thank you for that report. Thompson against Fox. A beautiful reverse layup. Fox has got 13 points in just this quarter.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth, physical basketball, guys.
Van Vliet outside. Pass to Green. 5 to shoot. Off target from three-point range. Here's Castle. Fox finds Wembanyama. Inside. It's stolen by Green. And here we go. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
San Antonio ball.
And now, courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here are the teams that led the NBA in block shots last year. In the third spot, the Spurs.
You got a number of guys that can deny you when you take that ball inside. That's why they're one of the best shot blocking teams in the league. At least they were last year, because they worked well together and they made it a priority.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Jock Landale's checked in for Şengün. Jabari Smith comes in for Amen Thompson. And it's Whitmore in for Fred Van Vliet.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. Sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
GA, if you look back at the Rockets' history, so many all-time greats have spent time there.
Yeah, it's an impressive list, right? Olajuwon, Moses Malone, Calvin Murphy, and Harden. Houston's well represented in the Hall of Fame.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Johnson outside. Back to Wembanyama. And the rebound goes to the Rockets.
Well, you've got to be there defensively. I mean, that's an easy mid-range jumper that he'll typically drain.
Trying to break that ice-cold streak. And here's Green outside. And that one released in time, but no good. And we just finished the third quarter. And we've got a tight ball game here.
One more quarter.
And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the fourth quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. We've got Jeremy Sohan. Castle is out there with De'Aaron Fox.
Somebody's hurt.
Then it's Johnson, and it's Champagnie in at the 3 slot. That's the San Antonio 5. Oh, no, he may have gotten injured right there. He's in a lot of pain.
And, boy, when you see someone hurting like this, it's always scary.
You're exactly right. I mean, with the way it looks, what we have to hope for now is that somehow it's not a long-term issue.
Jalen Green's checked in for Alperen Şengün. And Fox gets it to go.
Şengün.
Fox excelling at scoring through contact that time. Always looking to take it all the way to the rack.
Holiday, the pass to Eason. Back to Holiday. It's rebounded by De'Aaron Fox. Spurs leading by 3. And it's Fox with the jam.
And he's got it going now. When he's in this kind of a zone, boy, he's fun to watch.
Here's Green. Beyond the arc. The rebound by Johnson.
And maybe, he thinks he can shoot himself out of the cold spell, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe somebody want to tell him to ease up off the threes.
Ooh, Fox, no good.
Heat check.
Rockets trailed by 5. Green, the pass to Holiday. Pass to Smith. Back to Holiday. The 3-ball. A 3-pointer is right on target. Holiday's got 5 points now in the quarter.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
Well, it's been a three-point barrage. They came out gunning and have not stopped.
Just the kind of play they need in a game
Just
this
need to
close.
start
That's the kind of aggression they want from their floor leader.
And it just forces the defense to pay more attention to him, guys, which we know can open up things for others.
So both teams making some changes here. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Ime Udoka's huddle. The message was simple. Keep fighting. Coach told his team, we're in this. We just need some extra effort. Let's go. See if they can come back. Kevin?
All right, David, thanks.
And another miss. Oof, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. A great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got 6 assists in the game. Here's Van Vliet.
Well, he does have
Because
6
he's so
assists.
sharp, Van Vliet can be a
He's a
very
defensive
tough guy to
liability.
defend.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for San Antonio.
I love the way they're finishing, penetrating, getting downhill, taking the game to their opponents. They've been the aggressors, and that's been impressive.
They took what the defense gave them tonight, and that was the mid-range. I mean, very consistent from that part of the floor.
And he makes both free throws.
You got to admire the steadfastness of Van Vliet. I mean, he's an anchor for his team because they know they can trust him.
Fox goes in and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
First personal foul.
They throw good, Fox.
MVP chance. Game 2 of the regular season MVP chance for Fox.
Fox hits them both.
And Fox has a lot of game. I mean, really good at distributing the ball, getting into the lane, and getting his guys involved.
Van Vliet kicks to Thompson. With the fadeaway. Van Vliet passes to Green. No one near Smith as he lets it go. And good as it just snugs right down through the net.
And this is a statement
Talk it
bucket.
over, bro.
If you weren't excited about Smith already, how about now?
And we've got a timeout from Greg Popovich. He knows every possession is critical now. Spurs leading by 4. Now for an update on Şengün's injury, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Guys, I was able to talk with Houston's head athletic trainer about his status. And after looking at it, he's told me that it doesn't appear as serious as they initially thought. Well, you hate suffering injuries any time of the year, and it's especially impactful this early on. Tough break. Back to you guys.
Thanks for the status report there, David. At least we now know, Greg, how he's doing.
Yeah, when you talk injury, the unknown factor is always a difficult thing to deal with.
And, you know, for him, just watching his teammates unable to contribute,
So, about
that's
time
really
you
a
showed
helpless
up.
feeling.
And there is no hesitation on Vassell's catch-and-shoot jumpers. Any sort of room, and he's letting it fly.
Smith with a screen on Paul. Van Vliet wide open. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
And Van Vliet unmoved under pressure. I mean, when his team needs a basket, he simply goes out and handles his business.
And it's Paul missing. It's trailed by 5. Pass to Smith. Back to Van Vliet. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Second personal foul. Second team foul.
1:12 left in the fourth quarter. Out to Brooks from downtown. Rebounded by the Spurs. Vassell left side. Houston's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on three-point attempts here in the fourth.
You know, the ill-advised threes isn't how you want to close the gap. You've got to have better shot selection.
And he commits the intentional foul.
First
That's
personal
coming
foul.
down to already.
Second team foul.
Fox is double. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
Foul violation. Jump ball call.
Now here's Paul. Paul is doubled. Pass to Vassell. Just 5 to shoot. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. And they go to the intentional foul.
Game, set, match.
First free throw is good, and that increases their lead to 6.
A generational talent. For Wembanyama, the sky is the limit and the reality.
And so here is Houston. It drops. And now they trail by just 4.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
And now they foul and stop the clock.
That's right. No other option but to foul.
Yeah, they have to extend the game. I mean, plain and simple. Use every second you can on the clock.
Second one is good. On both at the line. And it's a 6-point ball game.
Job well done at the line on that possession. They'll make things a little easier on themselves if they can convert those.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're down by 6. What do you think we're going to see coming out of this timeout?
Still a sliver of hope.
Yeah, but just don't foul, boys.
Then foul immediately.
Way to go, everyone. Let's hear it.
15 seconds left in the game. It's good. What a beautiful shot to bring them to within 3.
Cold-blooded shot in the clutch. And a big moment right there from Jalen Green.
Personal foul.
He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
Good composure from the line there. Those shots sealed.
Timeout called the Rockets. 12 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Any ideas on strategy being discussed right now in that huddle?
Trying to stay alive, they've got to work quickly.
Yeah, they're going to draw up a play here, I think, to get a shot right off of the inbounds pass and not waste too much time at all.
Thompson. Brooks outside. Pass to Van Vliet. Off target from outside. Can't get it to fall. And so it's San Antonio with the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that the fans gave them that emotional boost.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
Oof, 37. Oh, Wemby had a double-double, 14 boards. Chris Paul came through with 6 assists, no points. Yeah, it was the De'Aaron Fox show. All right, what's up next? Playing the Rockets again? What the hell? F it. Let's go again. Rubber match. Fox is too good. See if he can do it again.
6-8. Half forward.
All right, everyone. Greetings from 2K Sports. Get ready for some NBA action. Joined by Coach Stan Van Gundy and Grant Hill. This is Brian. Shorter rotation player. Next man up mentality, though. It does shrink their margin for error just a bit.
Compensating for the absence of a key player can be tough, but they've got to hold strong.
Here are the starters for Houston. Van Vliet and Green, they're manning the backcourt. Smith out there with Amin Thompson. And it's Brooks in at the 3. And for the Spurs, at forward, we'll see Vassell slot in next to Barnes. Chris Paul out there with De'Aaron Fox. And it's Wembanyama in at the 5 down low. You know, Grant and Van Vliet, they've got a guy who's been through everything in this league.
Yeah, B.A. Van Vliet's seen it all. He's won a championship. He's been in the All-Star game. He's been on a last place team. But no wonder nothing seems to faze him.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
I caught up with Coach Greg Popovich. We talked about Fred Van Vliet and how Coach hopes to counter him. Coach told me I'd love to put size on him and give him an unfavorable matchup. But the truth is, it's all about hustle, just staying on him as much as possible. It's a pretty straightforward strategy, but Coach hopes it's effective. Guys?
Allie, thank you. Back to Green, 5 to shoot, over Fox, and it's Green missing.
They haven't been able to find their rhythm. That's 3 straight misses now.
Fox, that's good.
There's some contact there, but Fox just refuses to let that hold him back.
The Rockets have gone 0 for 3 from the floor to begin this one. Vassell against Brooks. Outside for Green. Knocks down the long J.
Defensively, you have to stay connected to him on the perimeter.
Wembanyama against Smith. Fox goes in. Thompson with a steal. And they're running. Here's Green. No good off the back of the rim. The Spurs have gone 2 of 3 from the floor. And there's the call on Amin Thompson. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
I should have put Castle in. Paul's a bum.
First quarter, just about 2 minutes in. Fox, the pass to Vassell. Wembanyama with it. Checked by Brooks. Back to Wembanyama. Up and over Brooks. And there's Wembanyama. That's good on the assist from Vassell. And already, Coach, some teams have found their rhythm, while some others seem to be way off to start.
Well, Brian, that can be for a lot of different reasons. Maybe you've changed your system from the year before. Maybe you've changed your roster significantly. Maybe you have some guys who didn't come in as ready as they could be due to conditioning or injury. Every situation, every team has a different set of challenges.
Right there, Fox using his length to do damage inside.
And Ime Udoka has called timeout. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan.
What's LB on defense? They use the left trigger. L1 or whatever.
Castle's checked in for Chris Paul. Eason's checked in for the Rockets. And with this pause, a check on the stats to show you which teams led the league in assists last year. The Spurs, second.
And what really stands out to me about this team is how they share the rock. They don't want good shots, they want great shots. And collectively as a team, that's what they seek out.
Try again.
Spurs lead by 3. And Grant, you look at the Rockets' additions over the last year or two. There's an emphasis on toughness.
Yeah, toughness, both physical and mental. Those are the kinds of veterans they've brought in. And that extends, of course, to the coaching staff, too.
The drive by Van Vliet.
Talking about like these icons?
That one's good.
What does that do?
Van Vliet's gotten his second bucket.
And sometimes you forget about Van Vliet's speed. When this happens, he's more than happy to remind you of it.
And it's Fox with the jam.
And after putting it down, he dangles from the rim a little.
Man, that's borderline taunting right there, Grant. They're playing with a certain swagger right now. Pass to Green. Van Vliet outside.
See if you tap RB, those icons come up. I have no clue what they do.
Green with the assist. Van Vliet's got 7.
Well, what a quarter he's had. You can tell he's in the flow. They should be looking for him every possession.
Fox, that's good.
Their offense is really
so like
humming
if I tap
right now, and it's because
LB,
of the beautiful ball
left back button,
Rockets trail
these
by 4.
icons come up. Oh, and then it You can change the matchups.
He has 7.
I just
Thompson.
changed the matchup.
And again, it's Houston.
You see there, Thompson does a good job of sneaking into
this
the lane
is
and
Xbox,
finishing.
man.
Grant, when you talk about De'Aaron Fox, what an exciting player.
That he is, and just now entering the prime years of his career. We've seen him make great strides the last
L1
few years.
or L2 on the
PlayStation. How
PlayStation.
much he can still improve.
L2 is the trigger. I press that all the time because that makes him do like this post-up thing on defense.
First one falls for him. And we're joined now by Shams Charania. He's calling in with a story. Good to have you, Shams. What's going on?
Thanks, guys. Well, the Spurs with some experienced additions, bringing in Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes. Their mentorship is likely just as valuable to this young roster as their contributions on the court. And with legendary head coach Greg Popovich, they're creating an environment for growth in San Antonio. They're really building things the right way, guys.
All right, Shams, appreciate the report.
Yeah, just showcasing his athleticism. When Brooks gets open space around the rim, he looks to throw it down with authority.
San Antonio shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. And he knocks down the first one. And the Spurs with some changes. Sohan comes in for Barnes. And Keldon Johnson subbed in for Vassell.
It can help a big man's game to hit those free throws. It keeps the defense from getting too aggressive.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Now Brooks. Shot clock at 6. Over Johnson. And it's Brooks missing.
There you go, Keldon.
And so it's De'Aaron Fox making highlights for the Spurs. Hunting for opportunities, leading to 9. And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for the Spurs.
Well, they're in a great flow. The ball's moving. All those assisted buckets means the offense is running well.
You know, another thing that has impressed me has been their numbers of points in the paint, just dominating down there. They're just getting whatever shot they want in close.
This is how the floor looks for the Rockets starting the second. They've got Jock Landale. Tari Eason is out there with Dylan Brooks. Then it's Aaron Holiday, and it's Whitmore in at the 2. And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Hey, Brian, the Rockets
Fox
showing
on
improvement.
fire.
Head coach Ime Udoka said, quote, when you rely on your young guys, you're constantly trying to instill habits that'll carry them for the rest of their careers. It's mistakes and tendencies you have to try to break continually. Just staying positive. We see glimpses of how close we can be.
All right, Allie, thanks for that. Fox on the take. Eason pulls it in. Brooks outside. They set the pick. And that one's good. That makes him 2 for 3. And we're now about a minute into this second quarter of play. Fox with the ball. Guarded now by Whitmore. Pass to Johnson. Fires for 3. It's rebounded by Houston. Victory eluded them last time in San Antonio when they faced the Spurs.
Yeah, they know they should have played better in that one. Not quite sure what happened.
Yeah, look, that's not the kind of performance they would have liked. But the one good thing about this league, the next game's always right around the corner.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Pass to Fox. Now here's Johnson, defended by Eason. Fox for 3. Ooh, Fox making him pay from deep.
He's getting it done offensively, making winning plays at every turn.
Holiday against Fox. Now here's Brooks. Back to Holiday. Fires the 3. Rebounded by Fox.
No, they didn't. Did they really, Greg?
Stan, when you talk to others about Keldon Johnson,
I've been paying attention.
Is that he's a natural
That's hilarious if they do.
Brian, look, the intangibles with him are off the charts. This is a guy that got on the United States national team because of the kind of person and player he is. He leads by example every day.
Here's Brooks. Oh, he nails that one. 3 for 4 now.
And just as tough as they come, Dillon Brooks battling for 2 points.
Fox up top. Fox lifts off and hammers it down.
And he gives up some size inside, but makes a great adjustment on the finish.
Yeah, you got to love that kind of effort.
Timeout.
Getting in there, fighting through the defense.
And Ime Udoka has called timeout. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players.
Did he get drafted yet? He's not going to be drafted.
Ready for the Rockets. Smith, he's checked in for Landale. Thompson comes in for Brooks. Green's checked in for Whitmore. And Fred VanVleet is subbed in for Holiday.
Substitution on the court.
Quarter number 2 and around 3 minutes gone by. Here's VanVleet. Outside Eason. From outside the arc. It's hauled in by Wembanyama. Wembanyama's got his 6th rebound on the night.
Gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
VanVleet with it. He's picked up by Vassell. And yep, it's good. VanVleet's got 9.
Yeah, such a creative finish. FVV in the open.
And Fox, here we go. In traffic, Fox converts.
And he was dominant in their last outing. And the same thing here tonight. He is in a terrific groove right now.
Yeah, for sure. He is just oozing confidence. Thinks every shot is going in. They should just keep running sets for him.
Well, Grant, after 3 straight drafts high in the lottery, the Rockets got to 500.
Thought he was hot shit.
Yeah,
ends up
I
not
love
being
how
drafted. Someone will buy
in the
it. Someone will pick him up.
Houston decided we want to
just
win
to sell
now,
some tickets.
and I wish more teams did that.
And the first one at the line is good. And for an up-and-coming San Antonio Spurs team, Grant, what's the key for them in your mind?
I'd have to say, B.A., that it's patience. You know, young guys need time to develop their game and learn from experience. You can't expect people to become stars overnight.
Dillon Brooks checked in for the Rockets.
And the big X factor VanVleet brings to the team is leadership. He's very talented at setting a good tone out on the floor and organizing his guys.
Oh, wow.
To the paint.
So close.
Ooh, Paul with the block. Brooks against Fox. Up top, Vassell. Over to the left wing. The 3 from Wembanyama. Wemby showing off the range.
When Wembanyama goes up, he can be so quick. I mean, the rookie looking very assertive.
Thompson outside.
Wemby.
40 seconds left in the second period. VanVleet, the pass to Thompson. Just 5 to shoot. Brooks outside. 4-3. It's hauled in by Wembanyama. Wembanyama's got 8 rebounds in the game.
Over here, set a pick, Wemby.
Green against Paul. Pass to Wembanyama. Rockets with a rebound.
Yeah, and they've taken their foot off the gas a little. They were much more aggressive to start the game.
Really?
And really getting their opponent in early foul trouble.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And for Green, it's about trying to be consistent. He has talent, and he needs to play to his strengths.
Pass to Smith. VanVleet with it. There's the 3. No good on the buzzer beater. And so it's De'Aaron Fox making highlights for the Spurs. Well, now we have some time to check in with Allie LaForce. Allie.
Thanks. I'm here with Spurs head coach Greg Popovich. Coach, how do you get this team playing so efficiently at the offensive end?
I beg my butt off constantly. It's embarrassing.
At least the begging's paying off, though. Good luck in the second half. Thanks, Coach.
All right, so
Allie,
they're
as
clearly
always,
doing a
thank you.
bit with Pop.
We'll be right
on this
back
game.
to begin the third quarter right after this.
Evening, folks. This first half is like a high.
So it's
no
not
Chuck.
about how many shots
Chuck
you take,
didn't get
it's
that
about how
2K
many you
money.
make. And he's been making the most of every opportunity.
He sure has.
Taking a peek
Unlike
now
Chuck.
at the upcoming schedule.
Taking a look at Houston. Right now, a lot of teams are still.
And that's a wrap on halftime. Thanks for watching as we send you back to BA to call the second half.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Boy, it's been one outstanding game from De'Aaron Fox.
What makes him an exciting player is the ultra-aggressive mindset that we saw over and over in the first half.
Yeah, he hasn't been settling. He's getting to the rim, and that's him at his best.
At forward, we'll see Vassell slot in next to Barnes. De'Aaron Fox is out there with Chris Paul, and it's Wembanyama in at the 5. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with. Stan, you started as an assistant in the NBA back in 1995. So all these years later, for a coach, what's been the biggest change, you think?
Well, I think the biggest change, Brian, has been that we don't practice as much. There's much less time spent on the court with your team. It's more done in terms of film and individual work and not 5-on-5 type practice like it was back in 1995.
You mean to say we're talking about practice?
That's exactly right.
There you go.
Spurs lead by 5. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
BA, Fred VanVleet said, I've been a leader on pretty much every team that I've ever played for. I'm a leader in life. It's just something you either have or you don't. It's something you got to work at. Some guys will gravitate towards it and some won't. Brian, is it that simple?
Well, I think most of his teammates value what he has to say, for sure. Smith finds Green. And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. Good D by Wembanyama.
And they're doing strong work on the glass. A +5 advantage for them.
Rockets trail by 7. Green with the ball. He's picked up by Barnes. And it's Green missing.
Can't blame him. Just trying to take what the defense allows.
Coach, when you watch Wemby, it's not the height that jumps out. It's the way he moves with that height.
Brian, I've been around the NBA a long time, and you think you've seen it all. But when you see someone with Wembanyama's size and the things he can do, his ball handling, his shooting range, the way he moves, blocking shots, this guy is one of a kind.
Feels like he's emerging as the face of the NBA soon.
I think that's what we all expect.
And Ime Udoka has called timeout.
And y'all got that Switch 2 order.
On the game plan.
Finally managed to get a pre-order this morning. Walmart dropped another shipment, I guess. The Shadow dropped it.
And let's take this time to bring up the list of last season's elite shot-blocking teams. In the third spot, the Spurs.
Well, last season, this was a team that prided itself on protecting the rim. They were not an easy group to score on inside.
And here's Thompson for 3. Knocks down the triple. Thompson's got 5 now.
And this is big for Thompson's confidence. He needs to keep hitting from downtown.
And Greg Popovich has called timeout. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. Vassell outside. Wembanyama screen. Here's Fox. Back to Vassell. From deep, Wembanyama. Thompson pulls it in. Rockets trail by 7.
That's what he shoots, right?
Brooks threes. Outside. VanVleet finds Brooks. Back to VanVleet. 6 on the shot clock. And Houston, another 3.
And the luxury of having VanVleet. He doesn't need the ball to score. Fred can work off the rock and be a spot-up shooter.
Fox beats him inside. A slick move.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
And so it's VanVleet with it. He brings it up for Houston. Smith outside. Outside, Green. Back to Smith. Outside for Brooks. Offline with a three.
I'll tell you what, they've been aggressive and they've been physical.
Fox against Green. Fox hits it right through the contact.
And they're just taking what the defense gives them. And right now, that's the interior.
All right, Stan, what's your take on this very youthful San Antonio Spurs roster?
Well, Brian, they've got the guy to build around. They're very exciting to watch. They've been gaining momentum. They're coming together as a unit, as a roster. And look, this team's got a chance to be very good together.
And here's Vassell, still without a bucket. Sinks it from distance.
Yeah.
And the Spurs lead by 9.
Well, Vassell has the range to create a lot of trouble at the arc.
Van Vliet against Paul. Van Vliet, the pass to Green. And he draws body contact. Looks like a blocking foul. He was in the shooting motion, so he'll head to the line. It's going to be on Victor Wembanyama. And he's gone 1 for 1 in the game so far at the line. So San Antonio going with almost an entire new group here. Sohan's checked in for Barnes. Keldon Johnson comes in for Vassell. Castle's checked in for De'Aaron Fox. And it's Wesley in for Paul. Wesley, the pass to Sohan. There's 53 seconds left in the third. Pass to Castle from deep. It's rebounded by Houston. Thompson passes to Green.
Spurs foul. Sohan.
Houston shooting their 6th and 7th free throw shots in the game. That free throw's good from Thompson.
And what I like about Thompson, along with the high-level athleticism, he has a high-level feel for the game.
Holiday's checked in for Green. Pass to Castle. Now Sohan. Left side, Wembanyama.
Let's see, can Wemby post up? Can he post up? Turn around. Oh, he can.
It's Wemby.
Their interior D continues to look shaky. Not a good matchup for them right now.
Outside Whitmore. To the inside. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
Well, that's exactly.
And so it's San Antonio leading by 6 as we wrap up the quarter.
The way we keep a lead is to keep making stops, gain rebound, and keep the pace on offense.
No surprise that Greg Popovich is pushing his troops, sensing an opportunity to break this one wide open.
Appreciate it,
Well, he's a guy who will never settle, and for good reason. He knows that any dip in momentum can shift the course of a game.
Well, this has been a great contest so far. I imagine the fourth quarter could have more action in store for us. So, on the floor for Houston, Tari Eason is out there with Jock Landale. Then there's Whitmore. Then there's Jayshawn Tate. And it's Shepard in at the 1. And it's Fox with the jam.
Yeah, Fox is going off. I mean, he's gotten the ball on offense, and he's been relentless.
Rockets trail by 8. Now here's Whitmore. To the middle. Here's Landale, and he floats it in for the easy 2. Credit the sweet setup on that one.
It's winning time, and that's a winning play.
Oh, it's stolen by Eason. Up top, Whitmore. Fires from deep. Rebounded by Johnson.
Their strong work ethic has been evident on the glass, really getting after it and being physical.
Here's Fox. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Here's Shepard. Drops in the layup for 2. Shepard's got his first basket of the night.
And Shepard is a guy who plays below the rim, but he's got excellent touch inside.
Let's see here. We get Sohan out of here. Wemby. go with that.
Wembanyama's checked in for San Antonio. Ball comes in for Champagny. Green's checked in for Houston. Jalen Green comes in for Shepherd. All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Over the last break, I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was telling his team. He was clapping in the huddle, saying to his guys, loving the effort right now. Keep the intensity on them. Leave no doubt in their mind that this game is ours. Guys, back to you.
And Allie, thanks. All right, the Rockets making a switch here. Holiday is checked in. Pass to Landale. Back to Green. And it's Green punching it home.
I love it. What concentration. Green taking the contact well and converting with confidence.
Ball finds Fox. There's the triple.
I mean, you got to nail that.
Can't hit.
Well, this was his shot to miss, honestly. Poor coverage, good setup. He just couldn't knock it down.
Took on the other
Zero rim protection. Unforgivable in a tight ball game like this.
Yeah, there's no excuse for giving that up. That's the absolute last thing you want to happen.
Wembanyama. And the dunk by Wembanyama.
And Wembanyama can dunk it basically just standing up. You got to keep him out of the paint.
Houston has gone 0 for 2 from outside here in the fourth quarter. Landale with a screen. Here's Whitmore outside. Rebound San Antonio. Wembanyama's got 13 rebounds in the game. Glass eating. That's basket number 6 in 8 tries.
Man, Wembanyama getting it done. Woo!
And we've got a timeout called by Ime Udoka. No doubt he's going to utilize the opportunity to make sure
I wish I could put Manu in. They do have a classic mode where you can play with like the old Spurs.
And the Rockets
Yo, Manu's going to be on like a Mr. Beast show. Did you see that?
Thompson comes in.
They're doing like the Spanish basketball players versus USA. And it's like a Mr. Beast competition. And Manu's in it.
If you're just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Brooks, the pass to Green. Smith against Wembanyama. Thompson outside. Pure from three-point range.
A confident shot from Amen. I mean, when he trusts his J, Thompson is that much more difficult to check.
And we've got a timeout called by Greg Popovich.
Yeah, Manu wants that Mr. Beast money.
Crystal clear at this point.
For the Spurs Red Squad Dance Team.
Just about 3 minutes through the fourth and final quarter here. Ball passes to Wembanyama. Wemby putting on a show.
No fear in this young man. We're already getting a sense of Wembanyama's killer instinct.
Rockets trail by 3.
I don't think I've seen it yet.
Outside, Green. Back to Van Vliet.
Real life, at least.
On the wing, Brooks. Picked by Smith. Floats one. Oh, it's blocked by Wembanyama.
With his length and energy, Wembanyama has the ability to be a game-changing defender.
Brooks with the rebound. And Brooks has got the ball here for the Rockets. Here's Van Vliet. Green for 3. And a great assist by Van Vliet as that one goes. Van Vliet's got his 3rd assist of the night. Ball passes to Vassell. We've got 1:13 left in the fourth quarter here.
A big moment for the big man. Wembanyama stepping up in a huge way.
Better.
Green with the ball. Over Fox. And it's Green missing.
Yeah, loose coverage by the defense, but he just couldn't make them pay.
Green against Fox. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Defensive foul. Jabari Smith. 3rd personal foul. First team foul.
Free throw's good for Fox.
The and one puts a little extra insurance on their lead. What a play.
Man, Fox and Wemby can get it going next year.
Here's Green. Oh, my goodness.
What a dunk.
And demonstrating how fearless he is, Green welcomes the chance to take important shots.
On the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, good looks by our terrific camera crew. "26 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Just 5 on the clock. Ball passes to Wembanyama. No good from outside.
It's all about getting a 3 right here.
Yeah, and when your opponent knows what you need, it makes it that much harder to find an opening.
Tipped away.
Get it.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Yeah, just trying to keep this game alive. Not a bad foul right there.
Second team foul.
He gets the first, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. And the second free throw, no good. Tough break there. Timeout called. Houston, they're down by 4. Any speculation on what we're going to see coming out of this timeout?
It's going to be tough. They've got to get a quick hoop and then immediately foul.
Here's Brooks. Yeah!
All he needed was a little separation. So effective.
Boy, cleared the path, put him in position for a prime-time dunk.
Well, give credit to the screener there. That's how you help free up the team.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And a tough break as his second attempt is no good at the line. So it's San Antonio who scraped by with the win. What a performance they had here at home today.
I'll tell you what, these are the ones that are so nice to win.
That's what next season needs to look like.
I love being on the edge of my seat, never knowing what would happen next.
And that'll do it, folks. For Stan Van Gundy, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, I'm Brian Anderson, thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now let's take a look at our player of the game, De'Aaron Fox.
All right, what's the box score? 34 for De'Aaron again. Damn, 19 and 15 for Wemby. Not so much on the blocks, but damn. Ball with 5 assists. Castle with 5 assists. All right, I like it. Might have to up the difficulty on this. All right, who's up next? OKC. All right, next time I play, we're playing against the Thunder. Against SGA and Dort. And Chet. I always think of, what's that movie with Chet? He's the piece of shit. Shit. It's got the hot babe that they create with the computer. It's Weird Science, the movie with the great Bill Paxton. He plays Chet. That's the bully older brother. It's hilarious. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Peace.